Hey guys, welcome back to Dad's Foxbody Garage. I got a few minutes to mess with the car. Kind of late, kind of tired, but yeah, we'll give it a few minutes out here. It's about 7:45. As you can see here, we got the one head's been torqued up. I got the rocker shafts in there on the one. I got some Permatex or gasket sealer on the threads because they do break into the water jacket. And see if I can find it around here. I did have an adjustable push rod from a friend of mine who has a 350 Chevy in his Corvette, and the deck height must be a lot different. So I ended up buying a from Summit a 5.8 to 6.8 inch push rod. So hoping that one's long enough. I think it will be. So what I did after discovering that push rod was too short, I put in a stock one and just tightened it down, and I cranked it over. I put the marker on the top of the valve, and the marker didn't come off. So that could be because I have this weak spring in here. Before I put it on, I put the weak spring because my lifter, could compress because I don't have oil pressure built up. So I'm trying to, do all this by what I'm reading online and everything. Just trying to turn it with the wrench, and that wasn't getting it, so I hooked up my little bump switch to my solenoid over there. And, there's no spark plugs in this, so I'm not going to hurt anything, and I didn't have any rockers on, so cranked it over with the starter, pulled the rocker back off, still don't see any wear pattern on there. So I'm like, back to Professor Google, and from what I can tell, it's supposed to sweep across the valve, right? So it's going to should start on the downward side, or say the exhaust side of the valve, a little bit past center, and then as it rolls forward, I think it goes to the opposite side, right? I don't know. I'll do it in slow motion and see. But anyway, I wasn't getting a wear pattern, so I don't know if that spring is too light or what. Said you can do it with grease also. I got some anti-seize over there I might put on top and see if I can see a wear pattern in that. But we're going to learn this together and mess around with it. First, I'm going to set this push rod up a little bit longer than the stock ones, because everything I've been reading, you usually have to go longer. Like I saw, what was it, 6.1 is stock maybe? I mean, I read a lot of stuff, so don't quote me on these numbers. Some people said that, it all depends on the angle, and if you bind your push rod, and there's like so many different variables that go into this. It's like, I don't know. I don't think it's rocket science, guys. As long as you're not binding up on your push rod and you're not rolling off the edge of your valve, I think you're good to go. But again, what do I know, right? So I saw 1.5 or 6.15 to 6.4. But 6.4, I also read that people were binding up the back of the rocker here, if you can see that, and the push rod. So I think I'm going to go like 6.2 and see what it looks like. I don't have a high lift cam. It's just a B cam, Ford B cam. So it's around 500 lift. So I'm thinking I'll hit it at 6.2, but we'll see. You know, I'll do what I can, and I'm gonna try to set the camera up somewhere, maybe do a time lapse, but I'm running out of flat surfaces and everything's all waxed up, meaning the car. So I tried setting something on the car the other day as a coffee cup, and it immediately slid onto the floor. So can't use that as a stand anymore. So anyway, see what I can do. Alright, so decided against the time lapse. So what I did was made the push rod a little bit longer, about 1/8 of an inch from stock. Put some NICs on the top of the valve. We're going to try to assemble it here and not make a mess. I'm just going to hand tighten this because I have that loose spring on there, or weak spring I should say. Now it appears that it's sitting pretty good on the valve. Come on, get on there. There we go. Alright, so the valve did its business. Try to take this off without making a mess again, because the marker is just not doing anything. I think the marker is for if you have stronger springs in there or something. I don't know. Well, it's really hard to tell, but I think it's right kind of in the middle of the valve. Yeah, I think we're going to go with that, guys. Let me measure this and see where we're at. Show you what we got here. You know, basically just a push rod with threads, and you can make it whatever you want. So let's see. We're 6 3/8. So I think we're gonna go 6 3/8. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Let me put it in there again. Didn't really check the binding in the full open position. I was more concerned about the wear pattern. Make sure that it's not binding, but I don't think it will because it's not a high lift cam. Let's try that again. So we want to check it at full compression. Alright, right there. So let's see if I can see anything. That's close. Yeah, it's definitely close. See if I can, maybe if I get the camera in there. It's not hitting. I'm gonna see if I can get a shot with my phone, and then we'll see what that looks like. Alright guys, I took a picture of it down in there, zoomed in on it, and it looks like it's perfect. I'll insert the picture up in the corner here. But yeah, I think we're going with 6 3/8 hardened 5/16 push rods. So I'm going to see if I can find those on Summit and get them ordered up. And then while I'm waiting on those, I can pull that spring off of there, put the factory spring back on, this guy here, and get the head bolted on, and get the studs put in this one with the guide plates. And I'm going to wait to put the intake on until after I set all the valve preload or the lifter preload, because I can see what's going on inside. Make sure all the push rods are put in there real nice. I mean, there's no reason to rush putting the lower intake on. I mean, then what, right? But yeah, once I do that, then I can, like I said, put all the rockers on, make sure my valve covers clear the rockers, because I know that can be a problem, but I really don't think there's much in the way of baffles or anything in these old valve covers. And then she can start going together. Well, obviously I got to torque the head down and all that stuff, but that's probably going to be next week. I got to play golf tomorrow. You know, someone's twisting my arm to play golf tomorrow, so be doing that. Doing my best with my one bad wing here, but we'll be all right. We're having a good time. All right, guys, thanks for watching.